And good morning, ladies and gentlemen, children of all ages. Welcome back to another live Jedi Academy. Glad to have you guys here. Welcome to another of our live streams. And we missed last week. That was the first time in a long time we've missed Jedi Academy, but it's the holidays, and it's time to spend it with your familia and stuff. But we're glad to have you guys here. Now that we got all the holidays done, we're back better than ever live, and we're ready to handle our business. And if you're wondering, if you're new here and you're wondering what this is Jedi Academy. We're here to talk shop and answer your questions about Star Wars Galaxy of Heroes. This is a straight Q&A show. And the way it works is we have our wonderful panel, who I'll introduce here in a moment. And if you would like a question presented to one of our awesome people on our panel, all you need to do is put your question in the chat. Make sure you put question in front of your statement, the word question, because if you don't, we will not scoop it up. And that's on you, not us. And that's just pretty much how it goes. So whatever you'd like to ask, feel free to put it in there. We try to get through all the questions. We only do this for about 2 hours. But the sooner you get your question in, the better. But we'll try to get through all the questions we can. Sometimes we don't get to every single question, but by golly, we're going to give the old college try. That being said, let me, a couple other housekeeping things. Make sure you give us a thumbs up, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. If you like the content that we're putting out there, it always is appreciated. And with that, let's introduce the wonderful panel we have here today. Joining me also, as you guys know, my heterosexual life mate, he's being punished by God for talking about porgs and fluffiness too much, because he has lost his voice at this point, and that is Finity. Dr. Finity. Yeah, keep saying that. See what happens, buddy.
Yeah, I'm not back. I'm back, but not better than ever.
No. You sound like, I don't know what you sound like. It doesn't sound good.
You sound hungover. You have a long night.
Yeah.
No, definitely not hungover. I woke up.
Kidding.
I know. I woke up and I could barely swallow. It was not a pleasant moment.
See what happens when you're making out with Ewoks and porgs? You get the
bird flu.
Yeah, you get all kinds of nasty stuff. Yeah. That other voice you heard, of course, is the other tag team member, our Operation Metaverse, who I was hanging out with this last Thursday, and that's my friend and your friend and friend of the show, Carolina's finest, good old Maurice.
Hello, everyone.
How are you today, good old Maurice?
Pretty good, you guys.
And then last but not least, we got the man with the plan, our returning champion, Colorado's finest, Rocky Mountain High and higher, Warrior from Warrior Presents. Warrior, what's going on, my man?
What's happening, everybody? Can you hear me go all right?
We hear you fine, yeah.
Cool, man.
How was your holidays?
It was wonderful, actually. Very, very refreshing.
What did Santa Claus bring you?
What's that?
What did Santa Claus bring you?
Lots and lots and lots of family time, which was well needed.
I forget that. I want to know about the gifts.
Gifts?
Yeah, like presents.
Family time. Family time, my friend.
No, Warrior. How much loot? Come on. I know you got some loot, man. Come on.
I got a new mug, with Star Wars stuff. I got, some new bottoms, father bottoms,
That's nice.
They say hot stuff. You don't want to know my gifts, I'm telling you,
That's awesome. No, I do. I mean, I got a new Star Wars coffee mug. I did get a Nephis Nest.
I got enough snacks for the next 6 months.
Oh yeah,
in my closet in my bedroom.
That's good shit right there.
I've got pistachios for days. It's
nice.
my kids know what's up.
That's awesome. See, that's kind of good stuff. Good old Maurice got ice packs for his dancing for this past ACS camping we did. And I didn't ask what was some of the good loot you got on Christmas there, good old Maurice.
I'm sorry, you broke up. What was the good leaks?
What were the good loot that you got for your holiday season? I know you had a good Christmas and everything. You said that before, but I never asked you if there's anything particular that you got. You're like, oh yeah.
Oh yeah, I got an office chair. So if any of you guys do watch the stream, you know that I sit on this wooden stool.
Is that why you look so angry all the time?
Yeah, probably. I mean, but
not anymore. He's comfy.
I did buy someone a Ring doorbell, and it turns out that they don't have Wi-Fi. They just have a straight modem they plug their computer into. So I actually bought myself a Ring doorbell. So that's I get to put that in today.
Very nice.
So Yeah. So
I have one of those, dude. It is so awesome when you have a bunch of kids to like spy on the whole family, because you can like press a button and talk to the people at the front door, and so yeah, pretty awesome.
talking to neighbors across the street, like, hey. Yeah.
Warriors over there pretending like he's the Wizard of Oz.
You know, Jehovah's Witnesses knock on the front door. You can just start like acting like you're God. You're like, you shouldn't be at this house.
I saw what you were doing in the bathroom yesterday. What? God, no! Forgive.
Now I'm really looking forward to the Ring doorbell. I might have some fun today with it.
Oh my God. Good old Reese is going to make some kid cry. I just came to sell cookies. No, you didn't. I know where you live. Ah! All right. That being said, let's get this show started. I mean, no. Right after this GAC, I will be doing the Jedi Academy. I will be going into my GAC. Stop, reverse, switch. There we go. I'll be going right into my 3v3 GAC. So look forward to that. It is in the finals. It is with one of our fans of the show. So that'll be a lot of fun. And I always welcome any of the panel that want to come do that afterwards to hang out. But we've been wrecking in 3v3. Good old Maurice, we did have a nice little conversation about 3v3 the other day on Operation Metaverse. And I'll start with you. Besides that, and is there anything going on in the game that you want that's particularly on your mind?
Oh, not much. I'm having a lot of fun with the First Order. They're really, Huck's really, whether he's 3-star, 4-star, you got him all the way relic. It doesn't matter. He adds so much just utility, and that you can tackle teams that you wouldn't normally be able to do with the First Order with that Hux Zeta. I mean, I know a lot of people are upset, and they did refund the Zeta if you put it on for other reasons. But if you have a developed First Order, you really should put that Zeta back on, because he is something else. I don't have the Sith Trooper, but I've seen a lot of cool videos of Sith Trooper just annihilating whole teams once it gets down to just him and maybe like crew. So he looks pretty fun too. I'm looking forward to getting these guys up and running.
Very nice. Yeah, I'm not spending. I'm not doing anything. I'll farm the characters when they come out, because I pretty much will be just automatically going right to them, and I'll start using them then. But yeah, I'm not chasing the dream in this game anymore.
No, Hux, man, I'm telling you, you can use him at 3-star. Yeah, you can take him to Gear 12, as we all know. I mean, he's you can use him. Just load him up. You don't need him fast. Just load him up with protection, maybe some crit avoidance, and he's good to go. After your current projects, of course.
Well, yeah. Well, I've got a whole stupid gas to get 3 more TVs full of Get 1 to get him to 7 stars. Just the worst. I feel like I have wasted money with this character so far. Just stupid.
Yeah.
Me
too, man.
Yeah, it's really awful. And I can't wait to get him to 7 stars and get around and play with him a little bit, but I mean, at this point, it's like, I put him on, GAC, I put him on defense. It's like, I mean, he's great on offense, but it's like, I can't really, for what I had to go through to get him and not be really able, he's not arena viable until he's 7 stars and relic and all this other stuff. I'm like, God dang, man. What a bummer. And just having to look at Get 1 just makes my genitalia hurt. All right, what's been going on with your mind? I know you've been spending time with the family, quality time with the family, which is always important. Anything been going on with you over there in that Star Wars Galaxy Hero stuff there, buddy?
Not really. Just been taking it easy. Not really, not a whole lot.
And nothing on your mind?
Not really. Nope.
All right, so there you go.
They dropped another crappy not worth it pack yesterday or the day before.
True. This is true. That's science.
It's almost like it's almost like they're learning, but they're not learning. So they're learning that they're finally learning that like the $9.99 packs are what the community needs, because those the other packs are stupid.
Yeah. Like
the $100 packs are dumb because people don't want to have to always spend $100 every time or $50 every time. So they've learned it's like little bumper packs of like $9.99 or $19.99 are the way to go. So they finally figured that out. Yay! It only took you 4 years. So that's cool that they finally figured out that you're supposed to nickel and dime us and not 101,000th us. But the problem is that you're still supposed to build value in those, you know, 9.99 packs. You know, you're supposed to have a perceived value. And when you look at the 9.99 pack, it's like 100 crystals. That's like, what? Okay. And so you look at everything else and it's like 25 of this and 25 of that. And it's like stuff you can farm with like 100 energy that you get over the next, like, you know, day. So they're like giving you a day's worth of farmable crap that you get for free anyway. So it's like 1 day's worth of farming for $10. It's like, you mean to tell me you're going to give me a day's worth of farming for $10? Wait, hold on. I can farm for that today. Never mind. So like they're still struggling with figuring out like value versus perceived value. I don't know. They just have a long way to go with understanding the customer. And after 4 years, you'd think they'd have figured this out. Marketing, the marketing team is just so utterly and completely disconnected from me, the consumer, and being, I don't know.
Explain about that, because I'm a marketing guy. We can talk about this for a little bit while we get the questions in.
Yeah,
So.
I'm marketing. I run a multi-million-dollar company. I do both sides of the coin. I run a multi-million-dollar company. I sold $3 million last year for a company. I manage this company, and my company did more than 3 million. The company I work for is a literal $2 billion company. Myself personally sold 3 million. The company that I managed did over 5 million. And so we know a thing or two about sales. I'm in marketing as well. I run events as well. And I know a thing or two about this. Now it's a different market, so we have a different plan or strategy of how to, come to our customer base. We have a different customer acquisition. We have a different marketing strategy and everything. But I understand this market because I'm a part of this market. So I could be working for EA, and I could work EA's market strategy because I am a consumer for this market and this market strategy because I am actually on the receiving end. And they unfortunately don't understand me as the consumer, and they don't understand my mindset, my purchase history, which they have my purchase history. Literally, they have my purchase history over the last 4 years, my buying history, what worked, what didn't work. They have all of their marketing effort, successes and failures. They have drawbacks, buy-ups, all sorts of market analysis and research, and nothing that they have has obviously taught them anything. So it's kind of sad. It hurts my heart a little bit because I love Star Wars and I love this game, and after 4 years and watching the packs come out over the last 30 days, what I see is actually what broke it for me was the that hyperdrive bundle. That hyperdrive bundle proved to me that if they really wanted to create value, they could, and they proved that. That hyperdrive bundle was actually worth it for anybody who wanted to spend $100. They actually gave, even if you got no characters and no ships out of it, it was worth it just for the gear alone. But that also proved that every other pack they've ever sold isn't worth it.
Yeah.
Ever. It also devalued everything they've ever sold and everything they ever will sell. And I looked at every pack since then in a new light. Every pack they've sold where the pack's $20 and they give you $2 worth of crystals, and you now look at the rest of the stuff and they've changed their internal value system because of it. So they've actually forever devalued their pack system because they create a value system. So when they say, our packs are worth $20 and this is the assigned items per this pack, you have to assign value within the pack to the $20. So you get X, Y, and Z for $20. So X, Y, and Z is equal $20. When they give a new pack and you get A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I, J, K, L, M, N, now the new packs, you're getting A, B, C, you're only getting $3 for $20 because you now understand the value of A, B, and C now because they've reassigned the value to those items. So that's just marketing 101. And so they've now devalued their own currency, and that's okay. We're at a period after 4 years where they've marked down clearance items, and now they're trying to bundle clearance items and sell it at a higher price. These are clearance items now. You guys sell it at a clearance price point, so you can't mark it back up, unfortunately. So, yeah, I look at the packs now with sad disappointment. And then during Christmas, they brought out those Christmas packs, and I looked at those Christmas packs and I just shook my head. They actually gave significantly less items for the price, but they priced the pack right. So they did that right. It was weird. It was like they knew the pricing properly. They actually had the structured pricing correct. EA had given them the correct price. They said, this is what we know to be true that people hit go on. But they didn't actually put the right items in the correct price point. So like their market analysis, the research was correct, but they just didn't build the right bundle, which is why I did my Worth It series on it, because it's a turd in a box. So I mean, if you want a turd in a box and you want to spend $10 on a turd in a box, then do it, I guess. But
step 1, put your turd in a box. Step 2.
Yep. So anyway, I don't know. I think that's
it's a great thing. I mean, I'm with you 1,000% on that, and I'm trying to understand. I was trying to understand what do they look at with their market analysis, like for, what's their plan for market penetration and focus, and like what does the numbers say and all this other stuff.
Well, they're expanding their market. They're expanding their market penetration because they're going to the lower packs. They're trying to expand who's purchasing because, there's a unprecedented number of whales quitting, and so the $99 packs are going away. The people who are buying the $99, crystal packs, they're going to have to evolve that because there are still a small percentage of people that are still doing that, especially the newer whales that are trying to catch up. But they have to get a broader audience of people now spending, and feeling like that they're, getting a value for what they're spending their money on. So now, after 4 years, they're finally starting to build the packs that everybody that has been playing the game for 4 years wishes that they had. So they're now trying to paint that broad stroke, which they could have been doing for 4 years.
I know. Imagine all the chromiums we bought, man.
Out. Yeah.
That we could have just gotten that hyperdrive.
Could have figured it out the first year and mastered those packs. And I offered years ago to help them build the packs with a value and teach them how to build value packs. And the thing is I know what perceptual value is because I'm a gamer. I played the game. I could have showed them and taught them what a pack value was. In fact, my first and only value pack I explained to them was those the packs for Omegas and Mark IIIs. Now they upped the cost of crystals on them and brought them out, but that was my freaking idea for Omegas and Mark IIIs, and they took it, and it was a soaring hit. They just cranked up the cost of I had suggested how many crystals, and they doubled it. So, of course, the greed kicked in, but that was one of my ideas, and they took it. But I had a million more of those ideas, and they just chose to listen to one and not let me give them any more ideas, which is funny since they took one idea and it was a hit, and they admitted to it being a hit, and then they just chose to let it fall off after that.
Yeah. Oh goodness. All right, well, let's start getting to some of the questions here. Let's see here. I'm getting them pulled up. Oh wait, there they are. Okay, got it. We'll start with you, Warrior, and then good old Maurice, you're on deck, so get ready, buddy. Our good friend Belrit Papachulo says, question, what relic level is a good stopping point for Jolie? Because mine is currently sitting at relic 2, and I plan to go to relic 4. Do I need to go higher than that?
If he said Jolie,
Yes.
It depends on. For me, I say relics are kind of the staging point for relics are 3. For just any character, I would say minimum relic staging points 3. If they are an attacker, I would take them to 5. That's kind of my just default is relics 3, attackers 5, and possibly a few of the tanks 5. And that's basically all relics for anybody, just relic 3 or attackers to 5. You get a little bit more viability out of the attackers at 5 because of the extra damage, and a few of the tanks to 5 if you want the extra durability on the attacking. Jolie, if he happens to be in your arena team, or you want just that extra little bit of health, then maybe take him to relic tier 5. But honestly, 3 is a plenty good enough staging point. You'll find if you try and take everybody to relic tier 5, you're going to run out of enough relic material to take everybody to relic tier 5. So
Yeah.
relic tier 3 is just a really solid staging point for everybody, and then I would focus more on taking your attackers to relic tier 5.
There you go. I agree. It's been my mentality since relics have been introduced. All right, good old Maurice. Next question from our good friend Xlor. He says, "Question: My guild is doing Hoth My guild is doing Hoth for the Get One for gas. Do you guys now have a fun team to use for this during the battles, because battles are so boring?"
I think I'll tell you what, if you're doing Hoth, especially in like P1 and P2, this is a great time because if you guys try the Geonosius variety of the light side, you know that you need incredible depth in the Galactic Republic, especially the Galactic Republic Jedi faction. This is a great time to test out maybe a future team because once you get in the later stages of the TB, you need a Galactic Republic team, you need a Galactic Republic Jedi team, and then you're also going to need these other various type of special missions that use those characters as well. So this is a great time to test out your Luminaras, your Ima Gundis, your maybe some of the more obscure characters that you're just simply going to need for depth. Finding good uses maybe for some of the more obscure characters in your roster. I personally am going down the Ima Gundi route. He's not a great character. I'm not suggesting that anybody do him, but getting him modded, learning how to use characters that you're not comfortable with in the Hoth can really pay off for the light side, the Geonosius. So I'd encourage you to use kind of obscure teams, because if you're in, especially if you take it a step down, you guys can probably clear the first 3 or 4 phases of the Hoth relatively easily. So if you do miss a combat wave or 2, I don't think you're probably not gonna just cripple your guild. So get there and experiment, test out some different leaderships, maybe try some different builds in terms of mods on characters. Just find the teams that work best for you in the PvE section of the game.
There you go. All right, next couple questions for Warrior. One from Utah. He says, "Question for Warrior: Do you think that CG even knows what a SWOT analyst is?" SWAT.
Do I think they know what a what is?
SWOT analyst is.
No.
Simple, elegant, to the point. The answer's no. And the next question from Jedi Gunny. Question: Warrior, on your stream this week, you were saying you take one character away to Gear 13. Are you buying Kairos or straight farming? You straight farming, homie?
No, both. So the way it works is I leave the Cairo on the farming. I leave it till the very end. I do all the other pieces of gear. I hard farm one piece of gear as hard and far as I can. If I get stuck on that particular piece of gear because it's like raid gear, I go to another piece of gear and I look at that for that raid gear until I get it. Kind of look for it 4 times a day while I go to another piece of gear and farm that other piece of gear, and then get that raid gear as I'm farming that other piece of gear. And then a lot of times those 2 pieces of gear will finish at the same time and pop those 2. And then I go to the next gear and the next gear and the next gear. And then when I get to the cryo, whatever, I'll farm it as hard and fast as I can. And then when I get to like the last 25, a lot of times I'll have like 900 crystals or something. I'll buy with like 700 the last 25. It'll put me down to where I have no crystals for farming the next day, and I'll just leave myself 150 crystals for doing just the bare bones minimum 600 for the next day, and then I won't get to do a bunch of farming the next day, but that's okay. But it'll allow me to pop the next 100 cryos to get to the next level of gear if that's something that I need. But Sith Marauder doesn't have any cryos, so but when I get to that particular type of gear for a particular type of character, that's how I handle it. But normally I farm it. It's normally 100 pieces, so I farm about between 50 to 75 to get to needing to to get to the next level, and buy normally like a 25 piece from the store for like 700.
Very nice. All right,
so I'll try and finish it off with crystals.
Yeah.
Fine. You can farm for like 5 or 6 days, and you just get fed up, and you're just like, okay, let's finish it off. You're like, I'm already done.
All right, give me a second here. You guys still there?
Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
All right. Next question. Actually, it's next two for you, good old Maurice. One's a follow-up from X Races. It says, question, my Jolie is now Relic 3, and I use it for the most part against General Grievous. Is it better to mine him with a lot of health in a Basilisk team, or a lot of tenacity with the CA arrow? I see them both a lot.
Ooh, I guess it depends. I guess it depends on the rest of your faction. If you're under Basta lead, I tend to favor health because it's essentially going to be the same thing. Under a Basta lead, if you mod him with tons and tons of health, he's going to have so much protection up that even if he gets crit, you're going to end up, I think, at the end of the day, at the same point after Grievous's first AoE, right? Like if he's got tenacity, he's not going to get crit, but if he's got massive amounts of protection up, then you're going to end up with the same health pool at the end of that first strike. I do think that there's so few characters in the game that thrive on tenacity. If you do have a very deep tenacity mod pool, then that'd be a good spot for it. But if you haven't farmed for tenacity, I wouldn't do so. I wouldn't do so just for Jolie. I would go the health route. Just kind of build him with what you have, I guess, if that's not a terrible way to answer the question. So under Basla, you can go either way. I think under Revan, I think the tenacity build is a little more helpful because you don't have that initial health pool to kind of use at the beginning, because that first AoE from Grievous can be devastating. So you do want to survive that with a nice chunk of health left. So
okay, they're saying my mic is all funky again. God damn
you sound like
Kylo Ren.
Yeah, that's it.
Show me the power of the dark side.
You sound like Kylo Ren.
All right,
I was
give me a second.
Yeah.
Give me a second.
And start with Warrior. What else 73 says, what is your one fun character you want to relic up that isn't necessarily on a meta team?
Well, that's hard because I have a number of fun characters that I've taken into relics that some people probably say why. One's Young Lando, and another one is like Plo Koon. But Young Lando is probably the one that people are like, why? But Young Lando, I mean, he's got a ship, right, with L3, so there's that. But I wanted to take Young Lando all the way up to Relic Tier 7. That's just not going to happen. But he's got some of the best damage in the game. If you go look at damage stats and overall abilities in the game and start looking at like top abilities, you'll find Young Lando up there in the top 10, top 5 actually. So you'd be like, whoa, I didn't know that. So kind of cool. Young Lando is pretty awesome. So it's just one of those things. Plus, he's got some kind of fun. Sometimes the game comes along and builds a character where they're like, hey, let's make this guy randomly fun. And he's one of those characters that he's got an ability where, he kind of, 50% of the time is fun 100% of the time. So there's a little bit of RNG. He's got a little RNG built into where, he sucks sometimes, and sometimes he's he surprises you and you're like, oh cool. So he's one of those characters where you can't play him to be meta, but if you're just playing him to have fun, he'll surprise you, and you're like, wow, oh my god, that was pretty cool. He makes for kind of fun videos occasionally or whatever. So he's a non-meta character that I would say is fun.
All right.
And good old Maurice.
Yeah. What's your fun character, good old Maurice?
Young Lando's a good one. I've got a few that I use. I still like Chopper. I've always been a big fan of Chopper. I use him all the time. He's a great character, a support tank, which is interesting. I like him. Like I said earlier, I am developing I'm a Gundy. He's been kind of fun to use in these 3v3. I'm just having a lot of fun testing out all the various Newt comps in this 3v3 because there's really not a right and a wrong one. Like there's so much that works under Newt Gunray in these 3v3 matchups. I'm having a lot of fun with him. The clones are fun, but they're probably going to be a pretty set team at the end of the day. But I don't know. I'm really liking Hux. I mentioned that at the beginning of the stream. I really, really like Hux. 3-star, 7-star, like I said, it doesn't matter. He adds a lot to that faction. I'm having a lot of fun with him, even though he's kind of boring. But he doesn't really do too much himself. But the assist and all the damage he provides is fun. Fun to see those big numbers.
All right.
Side note, speaking of Newt, I just wanted to throw out, if you guys really want to totally and completely shaft one of your opponents, if they don't have General Anakin Skywalker for offense and don't have CLS for offense, or have already used those two teams or assigned those two teams for someone else, a really fun team to totally and completely shaft and stunt your opponent on 3v3 is a Newt Gunray over 300 speed, a Wat Tambor over 300 speed, and then a Sun Fac. And take your Sun Fac to Relic Tier 7 and put nothing but protection with protection primaries on them. And if they don't have CLS and they don't have or don't have CLS team or don't have their gas team to beat it, they can't beat it. It's not going to work. It's not going to work. Between Newt and Wat Tambor over 300 speed doing their thing, they take like 400 turns between each other, and Sunfax sits over there and just counters and counters and counters and regenerates and counters and regenerates and counters, and then you get one turn.
Yeah,
then they counter and regenerate and counter and regenerate and counter and regenerate, and you just sit over there like, what the hell are they doing? And you don't get anything. You don't get you can take in meta. You can take in you can take in like Revan or Darth Revan, or you can do whatever you want. It doesn't matter. You're gonna lose on 3v3.
Yeah.
I lost a bunch of really amazing meta teams to that. And it was a Relic Tier 7 Sunfac. He had like 220,000 health and protection, and then he had over 310 Newt and 310 Wat Tambor, something like that. It was well over 300 speed on both. And I just watched in awe as this stuff, they just took turns and kept going and just, and the only two teams I didn't have was CLS and gas, and I just proceeded to lose because of that one team. So pretty cool.
I really like Newt a lot. I've been using Newt, Sunfac, and B1 as one of my 3v3 defenses. It's done surprisingly well. I mean, to getting either a lot of defenses or they can't clear them. So, good old Separatist, man. What can I tell you? All right. Good old Maurice, next question to you. Jason Krulik says, question, what characters and ships do you think will be needed for the new Kylo and Rey? We talked about this the other day on Operation Universe, and I think we're just like, they're going to hose us.
Well, I don't know. And as I mentioned, Operation Metaverse, I think Wink and Goodnight Punk on Shattered Order. I think
made a great point. Yeah,
I like their take on it. Like if you guys look at all of the characters in that journey guide, even Grandmaster Yoda lists all of the Jedi, right? Like all of the characters are on there. Just because you see 15 question mark blocks doesn't necessarily mean you're going to need all 15. And as I said, I think I like that take on it because it is very optimistic. But I think if we do need if you only need 5 characters, if it is a true legendary kind of event, we don't really know. But like I am assuming that those 5 characters, if you only need 5, are going to need to be extremely well geared. We're talking Relic, probably 5+, if not 7. All the Zetas, your best mods. I'd imagine that the event itself is going to be very, very difficult because this journey guide came out, and for us veteran players, we really get nothing out of it. We have all these characters, right? So I'm sure that they want us to get some sort of feel for the journey guide, right? Like we don't get to really experience what it brings to the game because we have all the legendaries. So this will give us something to shoot for, like toward too. I don't think when these characters are released, I don't think it's going to be intended that you can get them right away unless you just spend ridiculous amounts of money or you're just super lucky in your character selection you made thus far. But I will say I'm not sure. Just because it looks like Kylo Ren, it doesn't necessarily mean that you're gonna need the first order for Kylo Ren. They could really put us in the grinder if like me, I have a really developed first order team because I want the Kylo Ren. They could. There's no who knows? You might develop your first order. That's what you need for the raid, right? So they might switch it on you. You develop one faction, wanting one character, and you end up with the galactic version of a different faction, encouraging you to amp up that faction. You know what I mean? So like you've got this Rey character now, or the Kylo with no supporting cast, you're going to develop that faction too. So they could use this as a way to get us to trick us into, leveling up a faction we don't have. So don't be shocked if that happens. You never know with these guys. So there's no harm in just hoarding everything and waiting to see. That's what I would advise everyone to do. Just hoard your Zetas especially. Just start just farming and having some of that Gear 12 Plus stuff ready for the right side for characters. Just have everything kind of ready to go so you can make your decision when the more information is released.
There you go. All right, next question, also from Jason Krulik. We'll go back to you, Warrior. He says, which characters from Episode 9 do you want to be released that haven't been released yet?
Well, I think for the Imperial Troopers, I'm thinking of Mandalorian.
Yeah.
I'm thinking of Mando.
No Mando.
Yeah, Mando. The Imperial Trooper that has the fire. I think that would be cool. A Flame Trooper, Imperial Trooper. But no, for Episode 9, I don't know. Yeah, I'm more about Mandalorian. I don't really care about Episode 9. I think Episode 9 was cool. I think there's a lot of opportunity for different characters that they could bring in, but I think that there's even more with Mandalorian. So I think there's a ton that they could bring in with that. A lot of options there.
Yeah. But it's going to be a while before they do the Mando stuff because they wanted to see how well it does. It was a gigantic hit. And so now that it's actually taken off and with Baby Yoda and stuff, yeah.
I guess what I don't get is like, normally when movies come out, in the past, they always had shot over the characters to the studio like months in advance so they would be ready and have those characters coming in. And it did take them a month or two, sometimes before, during, and then a couple months after. Sometimes characters would come out a month or two after, so like January was filled with some characters and sometimes up to February. But like they weren't ready, that the studio, not our studio, but just the Disney studio, wasn't ready for people to want Baby Yoda merchandise. Like, what was that about? Like, are they stupid? And then like they didn't think that was going to be a thing. And then like I just don't understand why they didn't think that was going to be popular. And then
it's not that it wasn't going to be popular. Favreau didn't want any word of Baby Yoda getting out with any merch being developed early, because he thought it was going to kind of take over everything. So he intentionally didn't want anything to be done with Baby Yoda until after the episode, which probably isn't the smartest thing, because I spent like $100 on Baby Yoda merch, but I would have gotten it now. But now I have to wait until like March.
But they said that they lost like
millions.
They lost like $7 million over the holiday season because they didn't have the merchandise in place for that. So that's kind of sucky for them, I suppose. But it's kind of weird.
You live and you learn. That's pretty much all you can do. All right, next question to you, good old Maurice, from our good friend Archie Vormax. Says, question: would you like to see a Xylo Beast raid, just as seen in the Clone Wars TV show? I'm not sure.
A Beast raid?
I'm not sure what that means.
I don't really either, man. Like if you don't know what it means, Ranger, I am nowhere near as savvy on the lore.
Well, I'm trying to figure out Xylo Beast raid. What?
I think, I don't know. I mean, I think the Clone Wars stuff is pretty much. We already have a Clone Wars raid, So I think.
With the hat and stuff.
Yeah, so I don't think we're getting any more Clone Wars stuff for quite a while because they gave us a lot.
Well, just the Galactic Republic stuff alone this past year was just crazy, right? along with
Yeah.
adding gas to that mix. It's like, okay, I think what their intention is that they're moving toward going back into some of the original trilogy stuff again, right? So it wouldn't shock me this year. I said this before, that we get like some stuff from Endor, like Endor Han, Endor Leia, General Calrissian, some of those characters added to the game, and finally getting Jedi Luke, something along that line. It wouldn't shock me at all if they start doing that, because they've kind of covered Episode 4 and they've kind of covered Episode 5 with the characters, so it wouldn't shock me if they start going to the Endor path.
Ranger?
Yeah.
I think it's supposed to be the Zillo Beast.
Oh, he spelled it wrong. It says Xylo Beast. That's why I'm confused. Like, what the hell is a Xylo Beast? I'm like, is Stoner Jedi in Clone Wars?
Go back to your voice, and then you can be the Kylo Ren that everyone fights.
I have a new great grandfather.
Oh yeah, I'd be lying if I said I didn't have to. I'm looking them up now. Yeah.
We'll get back to you on that, Vormax. All right, next question to you, Warrior. From our good friend Mick Health 19. It says, question: how do you mod a 6-star gas? Defense sets and protection primaries? Is there a target speed?
For my General Anakin Skywalker, I did a lot of offense, and I of course did speed secondaries. I wanted to have some speed secondaries on there, and then I did some protection as well. But I focused more on, like I did offense set, and then a health set, offense set, health set, I believe. You can look, I can't even remember. Offense set, health set. When he was not a 7-star, I focused on like survivability. So I did like tons and tons and tons and tons of protection, and it was all about survivability, just surviving. And then when I got him to 7-star, I didn't even care about survivability. It was about just raw damage. It's all about raw damage at 7 stars, because even if the other gas goes first, like especially in mirror matches, he's going to counter. So it's really about who topples the other one first, because as soon as you topple the other gas, it's all about just destroying the other character's team first and toppling the other ones first. So it's all about just pure raw, unadulterated damage. So I went straight offense, critical damage, triangle, offense, cross, just offense. That's what I went with.
Yeah, I did the same thing. I mean, mine's not 7-star yet, so I went with. Now, I did go with some speed. I went with the speed set and then a health set for it, but it was all protection with pretty decent speed on them. And then I also was looking on top of those protections, some nice offensive stats with him. I mean, that's the best you can do when he's 6 stars. I mean, you just can't really increase it any more than what you can do. You can't even put like 16 mods, which really sucks ass. So yeah, I'm with you, Warrior. As soon as he goes to 7 stars and I can get him to 12 and relic, he's getting a massive, nasty offense set and stuff. So maybe one day 3 more TVs and stuff, and I can have him 7 stars finally. I'm so bitter about this get one shit. All right. Next question to you, good old Marines. So we have a new person here, Crenteria. I hope I'm saying that right. Has a question. Says, what's the best way to farm geos? Considering most of them are through Cantina, should I do GBA first? I suppose it really doesn't matter since they are the same farm place, unless it matters for 3v3. What is your plan for that? What's your strategy?
Well, I have a hard time suggesting people farm specifically for 3 versus 3, because if it stays in this rotation, you have 3 versus 3, 3-4 times a year? Like, so in every other game mode in this game is completely, it's 5 characters. You use all 5 characters for everything else in this game. In terms of TB and stuff, there's really no point in having, 2 7-star and none the other,
right,
like that just don't have them at all because you can't participate anyway. So Just in terms of ships, especially if you're a newer player, the Geo ships are really accessible. They're a great way to start. I'm pretty sure Warrior actually on his. You started with the Geo ships on your new account, yes?
Yep.
Yeah, so I mean, it's a great starting place. Just kind of, I would suggest, and this very few things I would ever suggest this, but maybe develop them all kind of together. Get them all up, maybe to 4-star, then 5-star. Kind of develop their ships the same way. Gear them up. Fortunately, well, the exception of Spot sucks, but like Sunfac and Geo Soldier, they take completely different gear, so you can kind of gear them together. Unlike some of these other facts, like the clones are terrible to gear all together because they all take furnaces, they all take the same exact stuff. So the Soldier, Geonosian, Brute Alpha, all these characters, they do take slightly different gear. I would definitely focus on Brute Alpha out of Cantina if that's the route you want to go, because he makes the faction complete. Otherwise, their Poggle's pretty lame. He's not a good leader for the team. So just kind of develop them slowly and surely, and I think you'll be real pleased at the end of the day at how they come together as a team, both in ships and character wise.
All right, there you go. All right, next question to you, Warrior. We're in it to win it. Belrit, our friend again, says, question: how do I beat Sith, Marauder, HK, and Darth Revan team with a Bastila, Jedi Knight Revan, or a Padme team? I don't have Darth Revan myself or Gas. I'm assuming this is for 3v3.
So
yeah, it is.
I would use that doesn't have Malik on it, so I would just use Jedi Knight Revan, or does he have Jedi Knight Revan?
Yeah, he said Jedi Knight Revan or Padme team, which would
Yeah,
be...
you can outspeed that with Jedi Knight Revan and just mark Bastila and kill her.
Yeah.
That's a pretty easy peasy. Just mark Bastila and dark side Bastila and kill her. It increases her cooldowns, and then you kill her, and then off to the races. So
Yeah.
I mean, there's some pretty wicked potential with what you're going against, just because of relic levels. They're pretty durable, and with 3v3 you may not have a lot of damage, so but you kind of have to match relics with 3v3 for durability and damage output. Yeah, you have your revive one time with Revan, so hopefully you'll be able to revive, have the revive and be able to kill her. And then if not, if you die, just bring in a mop-up team once Basti's dead. Hopefully Basti, you do enough damage to kill her.
Yeah, keep port side up, because you don't want Marauder getting loose and hitting you for like an insane amount of damage. But both of the teams will work fine. But I really like the Jedi Knight Revan team.
If you go in and kill Bastila and you need a cleanup team, you can always take in Triumvirate. Triumvirate's a good cleanup team for that.
Yeah,
I hate to use for that.
He said he meant 5v5 including Malik. So it's
5v5 including
Malik?
Malik?
He was talking about the whole Darth Revan team. So it's Darth Revan, Bastila, Malik, HK, and Sith Marauder, and he's trying to figure out how to beat it when he doesn't have Revan and Gas, and only Bastila lead Jedi Knight Revan and Padme.
That's different.
So
look what threes has done to us, where we don't even know if it's a threes or a fives questions anymore.
Yeah, so he's saying he doesn't have Gas, and he doesn't have the 2 counters for it. Well, then he just needs to use General Grievous.
Yeah, Grievous is
Just
good.
use the General Grievous counter team.
You can use Padme against that team. You have to go Padme all health and sets and stuff, and keep her at a certain speed. Was it you, Good Maurice, at Operation Universe? No, that was it's just Ian has a video of like how to mod your Padme team to face Darth Revan teams in Arena and stuff like that for 5v5. I highly suggest you check that out. And you probably just put it in YouTube and search and just put Padme. It's just Ian, and he's got the whole breakdown of like the modding and things of that nature. Probably your best bet. Problem with Jedi Knight Revan, even Bastila lead, is that it just gets wrecked in 5s versus Darth Revan. It just does. And I've seen people try to use like Han Solo in the team and some other stuff. It just doesn't work. Darth Revan's going to destroy it, unfortunately, just because of all the things that Darth Revan does to like Jedi Knight Revan and Jedi in general. It's a bad move. So I kind of like Padme myself, but check that out. So, all right, next question. Good old Maurice from our friend Vormax. Question: how should I mod my ARC Trooper? Ooh.
I like Arc Trooper. Fast because he's a good source of dispel. I like him fast and try to talking Relic 7 here. I think if you can get it, really it's tough, but try to get his offense up, to about the 9,000, 10,000 mark. You can do that with an offense set. I don't want to say easily, but if you have a nice selection of mods, you could get him up to 9,000 pretty easily. Try to get his crit chance up there. Remember that Echo will provide additional crit chance, so you get him up to the 60-70% range. You're going to be critting a lot. His special, where he delivers, he gives the icon of the character, that special hits very, very hard. That's a big shot from him once you get him up there. If he's behind gas, you don't need quite as much durability as you would without. So just I'd like to focus on offense first and crit chance and speed.
I agree. All right, next question for you, Warrior, from our good friend Durgan. Santa Durgan. He says, question, should I gear 13 Han crew or hold on to my gear a little longer?
If you don't have an inherent need for either one of those right at this very second, because you're doing fine, let's say in ships, and you don't use the Millennium Falcon in ships or whatever, then I would just hold on to it.
Yeah, I agree.
But if you're using Rebels to climb and you're starting to struggle with climbing and stuff, and you need that little extra punch in ships, then maybe, Han Solo for the extra ship stuff. But otherwise, I'd hold on.
All right. Next question to you, good old Maurice, from Most Death Isley. Question: I have a 7-star Malik and a 7-star Gas. I'm reluctant to spend my Get 1 currency on gear, in case Galactic Legend Ray and Kylo will also need Get 1s. Do you recommend that I hoard my Get 1s?
Absolutely. This is coming from a guy that got Anakin on day 1 and still has him 6-star. So yes, absolutely.
Yes, I will be hoarding like a mother after this too. I've learned my lesson.
Yeah, there's no character in the game that needs that left side gear 12 currency more than you need Malik and Anakin right now. So I would not be shocked at all if that's the route they win. I think they'll continue to do Get 1 and maybe even Get 2 currency for these new characters. That'd be a little excessive, but nothing they do really surprises me. So hoarding it, because it's anything you buy out of there is very short-sighted. I was very guilty of doing it myself, just buying all the med packs and all the gold stuff out of there. Just hoard it to I don't remember, what is it, 65,000 ish is what you need for a character. I don't remember the exact number.
68,400.
Yeah, so just I think if you reach that mark, then you can start spending some on that gear. But I would try it. That's what I'm going to do. I'm going to get mine up to that mark and just let it sit there. It's going to kill me because I am not your traditional hoarder in this game. I like to spend it as I get it. So it's going to be tough, but I think it'll be worth it because I would love to have a 7-star Anakin, especially for these 3vs3s. He's a nightmare. And I don't. So, yeah, hoard away. Hoard everything.
One day, good old Razy will have a 7-star Anakin, and it shall be glorious. All right, next question, and this is kind of around the corn, but we're going to start with Warrior, and this is from McHealth19. He says, question, what's the most creative 3v3 team you've faced in GAC so far?
Probably that stupid team I just talked about with Newt and Watt over 300 with Sunfac. That's just a terrifying team. Because you don't want to waste, like I said, you don't want to waste CLS, you don't want to waste Gas, you don't want to waste Darth Revan, because those 3 teams are like your most important teams. And a lot of times you end up setting some of those on defense anyway. I mean, sometimes if you want to really stunt your opponent, you set 1 or 2 or 3 of those teams on defense to begin with. And if not, you're using those teams to chew against those teams that are potentially set on defense. So that's kind of like a stupid separatist team that's being set on defense that you kind of want to use something else. And it's like the worst team set on defense that you have to use meta against. You have to, or you're not going to get through it. So it's like it forces you to use one of those stupid high damage teams against it, or you'll never get through it.
What about you, good old Maurice?
I'm trying to think of something different because I would like just the whole combination of Newt and Watt is making things very interesting because it's not all the teams take something a little differently, and your roster's locked, so you can't really mod like you can see that your opponent places X, Y, and Z, but your roster's locked. You can't adapt really on the fly. Those are good. I'm seeing a lot of old bin comps that are interesting, bringing back that annoying evasion meta. I've seen some Watt and old bin teams. Those are annoying. I think it's just Ian the other day on our stream said he's using old bin, Night Sisters, spirits and Watts. All sorts of old bin Watts evasion based character. Those teams are very, very annoying to face. So if you got old Ben Gear 12, put them to use. I don't use them very much myself, but I mean that's a good spot for him to throw him with Watt and just some sort of annoying attacker. So stuff like that.
All right. All right. So let me look here. Next question. Okay, going race for Market question. Who is the best clone to give the gun command thingy to? The gun command thingy to.
I like Rex and 5 simply because they take the most turns. That's usually what I do. But 5 unfortunately dies, but then you can just reapply it to Rex. So it's that's the ones I like to put it on. All right. And you need that 5 Zeta, the 5 Zeta that provides a turn meter. If you don't have that Zeta, I'd go definitely Rex.
All right. Ray Rock has the next question to you, Warriors. His question: I'm about to unlock Darth Revan this weekend. After the unlock, should I focus on level 1 Gear 1 Wampa and Hermit Yoda, Palpatine to Gear 13, Shock T clones to Gear 13, or Bugs team to Gear 13 for the Malevolence?
Probably Shock T.
Mm-hmm. I like Shock T and the clones. They're pretty neat. Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Can't go wrong with those. Plus, you need Shock T for gas, things of that nature. You have to think big picture, right? If you get Darth Revan, well, then you got to get Malik, but you also have to get gas.
Yeah, you definitely don't want to go to like Wampa and Hermit Yoda because that's going to conflict with Malik, and you're going to need that currency for Malik. So those 2 are definitely out because you're going to need the currency for Malik. So those 2 are definitely out. Then you move over to Geos or clones, and I think the clones / Shock T. I think that's the better bet of the 2.
All right. Next question to you, good old Marines, from NR Wilson. Continuing with the Shock T clone kind of theme. NR Wilson says, question: what phase do you use Shock T clones in the Sith raid?
Actually, we got a Sith raid today. I'm going to try it out. I've never really tried it. I haven't been able to make many raids lately, but I think it starts in P2, doesn't it? Skeltrex put out the video where he just pretty much annihilated the entire raid with the clones. So I encourage you to watch that video. His videos are always really well done. I'm actually, as soon as we get done here, I'm going to check that out and do it myself. So that's my answer.
So what phase are you saying? Phase 2?
I think it's phase 2. I think it is phase 2, but don't quote me on that. As I said, my raid knowledge is tanked the last couple months, so unfortunately I don't know the best. Just referring you to somebody else is basically what I'm doing here.
All right. Next question to you, Warrior, and this is kind of around the corner again. We'll start with you from McHealth19. He says, question: Where are you using C3PO and Watt in your 3v3s?
So on my Scissorman account, I don't have Watt, and C3PO is low enough. I don't use him most of the time, so he's a no-go on my alt account. On my main account, Watt is used with depends, actually. Sometimes he's on defense. A lot of times he's on defense. So I don't actually get to use him. But sometimes I have him on offense. And if I have him on offense, I use him a lot with Wampa. So I'll use like Bastila, Wampa, Watt, and I'll take out some pesky Night Sisters because a lot of times I see Night Sisters on offense or on defense, and I'll use like Bastila or Old Ben lead. A lot of times Bastila lead with Wampa and Watt to take out Night Sisters. And then C3PO. A lot of times I'll use C3PO with Rebels to try to chew through. So like I'll take and try to expand my damage dealing and try to take like Han and Chewie as a undersized squad.
Mm-hmm.
And then I'll take like Luke and C-3PO as an undersized squad. So sometimes I try to do like 2 versus 3, and C-3PO just gives Luke that little extra damage and stuff to try to chew through. Or if I go 3v3, but I need that little extra punch, C-3PO will help him with that. Even if I'm going 3v3, he just gives the extra exposes and stuff. So sometimes I do that. I still don't use C-3PO with resistance most of the time, just because I like C-3PO most of the time with damage dealers like the rebels. So that's
Okay.
normally what I do.
It's funny. I haven't really been using 3PO that much in threes, but for Watt, I've been using him for offense. You can put him with anybody. Where are you using your 3PO and Watt in 3v3s, good old Maurice?
Oh, 3PO is pretty much married to Padme Anakin. That's what I'm using to counter Grievous. It hasn't failed me yet, so I'm going to keep doing it. It's not the most efficient banner-wise, but it gets it done. Watt, I'm kind of throwing all over the place. I did try one of those old bin comps I talked about. I've tried it with the clones, with Fives and Echo. I've tried him all over the place. I don't think there's really a bad spot for him, but there are definitely better spots. I'm trying to find it. I'm not the world's best at 3 versus 3, but it has been kind of fun seeing how different things work and just trying to outthink my opponent, I guess. I feel like 3 versus 3 is more strategy in some cases. You can see what your opponent's placed in the previous rounds and try to keep things that counter what he places and so on and so forth. It's not so cut and dry as some of the 5 versus 5 teams are. So Watt's fun. Watt's a lot of fun. he just makes anything great.
He just makes everything good, and I'm really excited because after this TB, I'll have mine 7-star, and I can finally gear him up and relic his ass finally.
I will say, if you face me in the next round, you're more than likely going to see the Team Warrior suggested here on the stream. I might sneak that in, see how that does. My Sunfac's only gear 12, but just not using Sunfac any other way.
Yeah, the other one that we were talking about this on the Operation Metaverse one is, what was the team that Clash wanted me to use? Get my Clone Wars Chewbacca up and then use him with, was it Vandor in L3 or something like that?
Yeah. Because with that Chewie lead, I mean, the defense he provides, his leadership is average at best, but it's the defense up that he keeps giving Vandor Chewbacca, and if Vandor Chewbacca is buffed, he counters. So that's you get a lot more damage out of those two. Instead of it just being a pure stall comp, Vandor is providing a little bit of damage for your team. So it's good. It's a good way to, like Clash was saying, you don't need him well geared. Just just get him up there, and he's useful. Stormtrooper Han's a good lead. Because like we talked about on the show, I'm a big fan of using Kira for other things. He liked Han and Chewie. You could use Warrior earlier talked about young Lando. You could use Kira, young Lando, X. Just there's so many. Scoundrel faction is so big, and Kira is probably their best leader. So you get some use out of her.
All right. So we have a couple fun questions here we'll get to. What else? Any 3 question? Is it just me, or does it seem like it's been longer than a week since Jedi Academy's been on? No, it's been more than a week because we skipped last week. Deal with it. Grande Verga question for you, Warriors, is: did Warrior get automatic blinds for Christmas?
Get automatic what?
Blinds? I don't know what that means.
I don't either.
Are you going blind? Do you need some automatic blinds? What's going on there, Warrior? I don't know what the hell they're talking about, man.
I don't know.
And then what else 73 wants to know says, Warrior, was renting the whole theater worth it for Rise of Skywalker?
Yes, it was super awesome. Probably one of the coolest things I've ever done, and was definitely something that I'm planning on making an annual ritual. I'm gonna buy out a movie theater the Saturday before Christmas, probably forever now, just because it was fun being able to invite that many people, friends and family, have them come and enjoy and experience an entire evening together and relax and just enjoy a movie together and have an evening together like that. It was really great. It also spawned a bunch of prolific get-togethers. There were people that were like, "Are you going to Will's get together later?" Da, da, da. So there was barbecues in the afternoon, people getting together too. Right before, there were people that were doing taco times at their houses and hey, do you want to get together before we go to? So all sorts of different people were getting together to do stuff, and it was all because they knew they were getting together to do the movies. And so it really warmed my heart to see all these different people spontaneously getting together to spend time together, all because of this movie time that they knew they were doing. But they all grouped up and did different group activities throughout the day to plan and prepare for that. And so it really warmed my heart to see them kind of get together and spend more family time. The movie encouraged them all to spend more family time together than they had originally planned. So that was super encouraging.
That's really cool. Grande Vega says electric blinds, so you don't need to go around the force to close your blinds, so you don't go blind. I'm so lost.
Man, that force isn't gone, dude. It's not gone, and that stick is still there. I'm not happy about this. I'm still struggle's real, man.
I'm so lost with that. Jesus. Oh Lord. All right. Next fun question. Durgan question: Gom, in the upcoming battle of the Death Valley, is Clemson or LSU?
I think it's going to be LSU, but I don't think LSU is going to destroy them like everybody thinks. Clemson's got that defense. They got Brad Venables, so that's don't ever underestimate that defense. They're always good.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, I'm a Carolina fan living right in the heart of Clemson country, so it can be frustrating. But I don't know. Kind of got to pull for the home team, kind of, but at the same time, not.
The home team is the SEC. Good old Maurice.
Yeah, I know. So if LSU wins by 3, I think I'll be satisfied with that. So
everyone in Carolina's like, fine, good old Maurice, he has to go.
Yeah, you never know. I don't know. It's going to be a good one.
Yes, it is. Revenator, for you, Gom, I think, did anyone get Gom a cup for Christmas so he can do the worms safely without a pillow next charity stream?
Get me a cup.
A cup support.
Oh, yes. The pillow worked all right. If you guys didn't see, I modified the worm this year, and there wasn't as much flopping and more rocking.
Yeah, we've got a whole meme about it. You can see it on multiple strings where we've had the meme up, and
yeah.
I
had a pillow and I wore tidy whities, so.
Grim question: Why doesn't Finn like us anymore? Finn, why are you hating everybody now?
I don't hate anyone.
Well, Grim saying you don't like us anymore. What's going on, buddy?
I was on vacation and now I'm losing my voice. I don't know what else to say.
Making out too many porgs. All right. Next question from our good friend Bell. We'll go to you, Warrior. Question: What character from The Mandalorian are you most excited for to come to the game?
Oh man, Baby Yoda.
No.
The Mandalorian, the child, IG-11. But the Flame Trooper. I mean, I know he was only for a minute, but I mean, they're really digging. They're digging in that show. There's so many ships they could bring in. I love ships, right? Ships are my thing. There's so many ships they could bring into this game to make it just infuse the game. There's so much they could do with this game. I feel like there's so much untapped potential. It's just it kind of makes my heart sad. It really does. There's so much they could do. So much. This game makes $1 billion, and they could put a team onto it that was literally 100 times the size that the team is, and they could have it explode in size and capacity. They could even just add like another 30 staff, make the building 4 times the size it is, put another 100 staff on it, and just grow this game into something that it should be, what it deserves to be. And it's not going to happen, sadly. But what they could do with it, with what's coming with Star Wars, it's exciting. They breathed such new life into Star Wars with Episode 9 and The Mandalorian, and what's coming down the pipeline with Star Wars. It's amazing, because it could have, if Mandalorian flopped and Episode 9 flopped, this Star Wars, there'd be a nail in the coffin for Star Wars. And unfortunately, it would be like underground for the rest of its days. And Mandalorian breathed new life into it, and there's new light for Star Wars for the next generation. So just really exciting.
Well, yeah, we also got Episode 7 or Season 7 of the Clone Wars coming. We've got the Ewan McGregor coming back as Kenobi series that I'm really looking forward to more than anything. And then there's a lot of other stuff that's still in the works. So there's a lot of good Star Wars content coming our way, So I'm excited to see the series and stuff and get our hands on it. No one mentioned Cara Dune. I want to see my girl in the game so I can lust after her. She can beat my ass anytime she wants. All right.
I actually don't want to see Baby Yoda in the game. I would die a little on the inside every time somebody.
Oh yeah, I would shoot him in the face every time, Finn.
I would never use him. I would gear him up. I would relic him, and I would just leave him.
That's all right. Don't worry. I would get enough Baby Yoda killing shots for all the RSG fans. Like I'd put just Baby Yoda in there by himself and be like, have at him.
Was anyone else kind of disappointed with the lack of BB-9E in Episode 9? Like they seemed like they were building up something in Episode 8, where he was just kind of like following around BB-8 when he was in that little trash can, and then like nothing in Episode 9.
I don't know, but he's coming into Battlefront too, so we got BB-8.
Yeah, I don't know what backstory they're really giving him. They didn't do anything with him.
Yeah, he was just there, and he was like, "Oh, I see you guys are up to no good. I'll report you." That's the story.
We have a guest, by the way, in the Zoom chat, Ranger.
We do. Who do we got in here? Michael W. Huntington III. Who the hell is this?
Happy New Year.
Happy New Year to you. What have you been doing, you butthole?
I'm still playing, if that counts. Yeah, it's just I missed you.
Yeah, you don't come out, you don't write, you don't call, you don't do anything, Mike.
I'm here. I'm here to support you right now.
What happened to the months and months and months previously? You know how many times I've been asked, what happened to Mike? I'm like, I don't know. He's English. I don't know.
Yeah, he's English and just mate. Circumstances changed. It really has impacted on.
I know.
I haven't really been up creating much recently. I've got a video out today, and I've put a few out recently. But yeah. Just real life kind of gets in the way of stuff.
That's true.
But yeah. No, I'm still plugging away. Me and Grande are the same guild still.
Well, that's good.
Yeah.
And I'm sure everybody wants to know, like, how was your holidays and how's Stancy and the Sweary daughter?
Holidays were good. We're just to let you know that there is a potential Sweary alert. She is in the building and on form and about to leave for work. She's waitressing at the moment, you can imagine what her patrons get every day.
Oh my God!
Would you like effing fries with that?
Listen here, you wanker! God. Oh Lord!
Tip me, or I'm spitting in your burger.
Oh, I swear we would do it too.
Yeah, she would. And the UK, it's kind of like tipping is very, very discretionary. So it's not like the States where it's kind of like you know that people in the service industry just get really bad pay and work a hell of a lot, do everything for you, and just tip them. Yeah, that's my tip of the day, if you pardon the pun.
Yeah,
tip your waitress. Yeah. She's working hard.
Yeah.
Or hardly working. One of the two.
Reservoir Dogs. All right. I'm looking to see. All right. Next question. I guess we'll just throw this out to anybody. Gomerich, you were next on the docket, but anybody can answer this. From Utah, question: what do you think of the rumors of a sequel season of Star Wars Rebels? I'm down for it. Good lord, that makes me like happy. Anybody else? I love the Rebels, so anybody?
Yeah, I love Rebels.
Yeah, especially the ending left so many questions, Warrior. I mean, I want to know what the hell happened. Like, okay, that's how you're gonna end it? Like, cliffhanger, no. All right, I guess the rest.
Would it be kind of ironic that Galaxy of Heroes would sell space whales at whale prices in this game?
Rebels had some of the best animated episodes going, didn't they? I mean, they really managed to pack everything in: emotion, action, awesome stories. Yeah, no, I'd love to see them come back.
Yeah, I mean,
I'm struggling to watch. I'm struggling to watch The Mandalorian. I've watched 6 episodes. I can't watch it says season 2 on the app I'm using. Unfortunately, Disney decided that UK weren't going to get it until next year.
Another stupid move on Disney's part. I don't understand how one of your biggest markets, and you don't have Disney Plus up.
All I can think is that Disney must employ a lot of hackers that do these dodgy app streams or stream apps.
Oh yeah.
To kind of promote. Well, go, when don't pay for it. Go and find some illegal site and watch it that way. Because let's face it, that's the only way you're getting it.
Yeah.
But that's the thing. If that's true, then they should proactively provide it for a cost, so people would jump on and pay for it, and that would reduce the amount of people that are doing it illegally.
Yeah.
Warrior sounds like he's talking through a toilet paper roll.
Sounds like I'm talking through a toilet paper roll.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, you sound like a stormtrooper.
Unmute.
I thought you'd found a newfound joy in droids.
Sounds the same.
Well, let me leave and join.
Yeah, come back, Warrior.
I'll say that you're a paranoid android first, though.
He left.
He left. But yeah, Rebels. I would love for that to what happened to Ahsoka? What happened to all of them after that? I would love to get the story, like especially getting what happened to Thrawn and Ezra.
How does it sound now?
Yeah, there's Warrior. There you go.
Yep, much
I
better.
sound like I'm referring to a toilet paper roll.
Man, you did, man. You sound like you were a droid for a second. I was like,
That's weird.
That's all right. I had
Tell you
sense.
what.
Yeah, it happens.
The internet's a funny place.
What's that?
The internet is a funny
It
place.
is a strange place where people go to experience different and strange and weird and wild things. Did you want to continue your thought, Warrior? I guess not. Okay. All right. Get your questions in. We have any more questions? Oh, I see some more questions popping in there, Finn. Are you putting them in there? Okay. What? Way of the Troll. I'm going to go to you, Mike. Says, was old Ben Kenobi a winker during his hermit years?
I don't know. He doesn't wear glasses, does he? So that would suggest. Oh, hang on. Sorry. That was a different word you said, wasn't it?
Wanker.
Well, his eyesight is very good for an old man, isn't it? No, that would suggest. Yeah. He either got some, or he had to give up that for the Force. I don't know. Actually, the only one that seemed active was Anakin, and he turned to the dark side, didn't he? Literally.
Just good to have Mike back. All right. Where I never asked you, did you play Jedi Fallen Order?
No, I have not. Although I just told my wife yesterday to go buy it for me, please and thank you.
Okay, there you go. So we have the next question for Graham. He says, do you think, will they put some of the Jedi Fallen Order characters in the game? Which ones would you like to see? Well, this is what I'm kind of thinking on this. I don't know if anyone... Good Omers, did you play Jedi Fallen Order?
Yeah, I think I don't know. They didn't put in. God, I can't think of it. Who is the main character in the story mode of Battlefront?
Iden Verso.
Yeah, like we didn't get her, so I find it hard to believe, and which I was shocked because it's an EA product. Like, why not dual promote? And so
Mhm.
I don't know. You'd think so, but no. Um, there were some cool. I never finished the game because I got that Malawan raid came out in Borderlands, so I got it's hooked on that. But it's they've got some interesting characters that do kind of come in. I don't want to spoil it, but there are characters that are in the game that are in other areas of the Star Wars universe as well. So it's pretty cool. But maybe we could get some of those, perhaps.
Yeah. I mean, the thing I've always wondered if they would ever do is create an Inquisitor squad. Like, you can have the Grand Inquisitor, and now that we've got Second Sister from Jedi Fallen Order, have her with, the other Inquisitors. You can make a whole team out of that, right? That would be kind of cool. There's a lot of different ways to go with the characters in the game, but for Jedi Fallen Order, I don't know if they're going to introduce those characters. It's a great point. The thing is, even though EA owns the rights to these games, I've been seeing a lot of cross stuff coming into the game. Like Sith Troopers in both. Like Sith Trooper came into Battlefront, and it came into Galaxy Heroes. Like it's a 1-for-1 every time. All these characters and stuff like you've seen, like ARC Trooper and stuff. This is kind of how they've been doing it. So,
What was that? What was that god awful game that they came out? The Star Wars game came out. It was like League of Legends, kind of. I think.
Force Arena.
Force Arena.
Yes, there were characters in that game. There were Inquisitors in that game. There were some. And there were a lot of characters in that game we don't have here, and I was shocked. Like they had Bosk initially, way before we had Bosk. Like I was surprised that they got the okay for that game, but we just don't have them here.
I don't know what the deal is with that, or maybe it's just because CG has a design plan of introducing the characters. I don't know what the deal is with that.
The Inquisitor was very, very good too.
Yes,
the week and a half I played that game, so yeah.
Yeah, but yeah, I don't know. Like you see a lot of the characters that are in Battlefront, like when Jordica's came out in Battlefront 2, that's when we got Jordica and Galaxy Heroes right around the same time. So I mean, it's been that kind of stuff, but no, not having Iden in the game, and you look at Jedi Fallen Order, I don't know what they're gonna do. It'd be interesting to see what happens. Warrior question from El Lonzo. Question: do you think relics were pushed right after Gear 13 to deal with power creep from Malik?
No, I don't think that they. I think that they pushed too much too quick, and I think that they felt like relics were going to help them with power creep, as far as their. The problem is they were releasing some end-game content that they realized was end-game content. And they realized that their next game mode, they wanted to make as end-game content. The problem with their next game mode that was end-game content was power creeped as hell. And the only way that anyone was going to be able to play the end-game content was...
Did we lose Warrior?
Sounds like it.
Warrior?
Building suspense.
Be able to get there, which is why they introduced the relic system, which was a way that, in theory, they build it that they were going to allow a way to introduce lore into the game. That was short-lived because they introduced virtually no lore. There's like 5 characters. I looked at all relics. I pulled every relic that was cool out. The Night Sisters have cool relics. If you look at Night Sister relics, they're awesome. And then there's like the dice for young Han Solo. There's like Kylo Ren unmasked who has Darth Vader's mask, and that's about it. Other than that, and then Wampa's arm. Other than that, basically there's no relics in the game. Everything else is just the character's weapon, which is not a relic. That is their weapon. Like Thrawn could have, anything because he was an art collector, and instead it's like his pistol, you know what I mean? So they build it as something kind of really cool, but really it was just their way of handling power creep. So they built relics to handle the future power creep. The game's power creep is in 12 months. Listen, in 12 months we got Darth Revan, Malik, Gas, GOTB, Lightside TB. We went from a normalized game where Jedi Knight Revan was the most powerful thing in the world and was OP as hell to relics, Malik, Gas, and the GOTB and Lightside TB.
Don't forget about Padme.
And relics. We went from the game being normal to the game's completely and utterly broken in game, like power creep. Like the game is completely power creeped out. Like beyond, like I mean, I've heard people for years of playing this game talk about power creep, and I've seen the like slight power creep where like a character comes in and like we thought 15,000 on a hit was a lot, and then a character came out and did like 30,000 was a lot. Mm-hmm. And then, we thought this was a lot and we thought that was a lot. In this year alone, just this year, we watched and witnessed power creep after power creep after power creep defeat itself 100 times over. We witnessed power creep beyond power creep. We watched power creep defeat power creep in the same year. We watched General Grievous go from irrelevance to relevance to insane relevance to irrelevance in less than 12 months. Think about it. General Grievous at the beginning of 12 months ago was nothing. Nothing. Got reworked, became something. Became good, got a reworked faction, became better, got relics, became insanely overpowered, and then became irrelevant once other characters and other factions became introduced, and then Gas became introduced, and he became literally worthless with the introduction of Gas as far as like Arena, because Gas can kill him full auto in less than 20 seconds. So it's like the power creep in the last 12 months is unprecedented and very, very, very. So it's hard to even kind of put that to like relevance for the prior 3 years to the current year. There's more power creep in the last 12 months than the last 3 years combined. It's hard to even explain.
Yeah, it's been pretty. I mean, the sheer amount of just upping the game for 2019 was kind of the theme. Like, hey, look at all these incredibly legendary characters. Get them where you can't do nothing. So, Way of the Troll real quick. His question is, has anyone on the panel read Star Wars book Tales of the Bounty Hunter? It's an oldie but goodie. Great stories on Dengar, IG-88, blah, 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 and Forlorn. Yeah, I've read that. It's been a while, but I have. I don't know if anybody else has. I'm kind of the lore junkie here, so I don't know if anybody else has read those all the EU books and stuff like that. I mean, I got a bunch of them sitting behind me right now. All right, next question. Go Maurice Bell wants to know, question, where's T-Money, Go Maurice? Didn't she say she would be here on Operation Metaverse Thursday night?
I don't know. She said a lot of things on Operation Metaverse.
We said a lot of things were said on Thursday.
I don't know. I don't remember if she said she was or not. She's got a new work schedule, and it's kind of a goofy one. So it's I couldn't tell you, man. She might be sleeping. She might be teaching a class, unsure. So
who knows? And then a serious question for you, Go Maurice, from James O. Mahoney. He says, question, who should I say to next for my clone team? ARC Trooper, Echo, or Shock T Unique?
I would probably do ARC Trooper first, just because he's the long-term play. Shock T is good. I like Echo Zeta too, but that out of the three there that you mentioned, I think that one's the most situational one. I mean, Shakti's always going to do the counter. I'd probably go Arc, Shakti, then Echo.
Yeah, I kind of like Arc Troop. I mean, they're all good Zetas. I mean, and you're going to need
Echoes is very, very good, but if you're not facing a team that's evasion based, you're not going to get as much benefit out of that, apart from the
No, it's
natural
true.
evasion that's like 2%, unless they have the relic mastery. Like you're not going to get that much use out of that if you're not facing an evasion based team. Whereas the other two, you will against every team. You'll get some benefit out of it.
All right. Let's see. Are you still there, Mikey? Are you drinking tea and trying to avoid swear daughter?
I'm still here.
All right.
Yeah.
So we'll give you a question here from Epic Fells. It says, question: should I keep farming all First Order and Resistance characters and ships? I don't have Holdo Rose and First Order Special Forces, etc., or finish my Sith Empire and other better things. So really the question is asking, should I start hoarding?
Hang on.
So I'll break it down. So he's asking, should I go to the Resistance and First Order and finish them up for possibly Rey and Kylo Ren, or should I get Sith Empire or other more meta teams next?
I'm looking at that first. I've got to be honest. I'm a First Order fan, and I did push the boat out on Hux and Mr. Red. Ooh, someone's got some feedback. Mr. Red Sith. What are we calling the Red Sith Trooper?
Sith Trooper. I think the other one's called Sith Empire Trooper now.
Okay, right. So the Sith Trooper. I'm loving. I ran it today, Phase 2. Hux lead, and he is just awesome. And I keep looking at the. We've got all these new little tabs, haven't we? And we're being teased with a fight. Well, I can't use final, can I? Another version of Rey. I'm thinking that she's going to be Jedi Rey rather than Jedi training Rey.
Mm-hmm.
I'm assuming. And who are we going to need to unlock her? And my money's immediately on non-taunting. Finn, the new Finn. So you can just see it coming already that you're going to need at least new Finn, and you'll probably need Rose Taco just because only the most avid fans are going to do anything with her, because she doesn't really add much to the Resistance, does she, at the moment?
No, she's poop.
Yeah, she is poop. So the chances are that you'll need her and a high power level or whatnot to achieve it.
It's really a tough call, right? Because Sith Empire is something, especially if you're going to, especially for Arena, right? And it's one of the best teams out there. Do you work on that, or do you go for a dice roll on Rey and Kylo? I think the best way to, and I would say, is like, how far along are your First Order Resistance? Because they're getting ready to come out with those two. Sith Empire, you know what you're going to get, right? We still don't know what the kits are for Kylo or Rey are going to be. We don't know what's going to be required. It could be way more than you have. And if you haven't even started the farm for some of those characters, it's going to be a little tough. So,
I mean, just looking at it, it's kind of proposing, isn't it, that we're all working towards getting a Relic 7 gas to, and that beats Revan Sith Empire hands down. And we're going to get a new option for Resistance. We're getting Resistance tunes, and we're also getting First Order. And are they kind of intimating there that these will kind of take care of gas? In which case, where does that leave Sith Empire? I mean, I totally agree. Sith Empire has been a dominant force for a long time. But it could be that that's kind of waning now because, you know, if we look historically, the Triumvirate had almost a year of dominance. The
Actually, no,
CLS
they had not that long because Jedi Knight Revan soon came after us. They were
that's
relevant
true.
about
Yeah.
3 or 4 months once people started unlocking her, and then they introduced Jedi Knight Revan, and then he was the one that really lasted for a bit until they did Darth Revan. So, but yeah, that's when the power creep started.
Yeah, I mean, so yeah, the final answer as such is depending on where you are. Finishing off your Sith Empire alludes to that they're pretty well worked on already. So, in actual fact, yes, finish them, and then you've got the call. Do you go Resistance? Do you go First Order?
Yeah.
It's take your pick on those.
Yeah,
Resistance needs more ships.
Yeah, I would just say get your Sith Empire done, and then unless you're close. But again, we still don't know what's going to be needed, so that's what I would say.
And of course, you can have some switchovers between First Order and Sith Empire, can't you? So you're kind of covering almost 3 factions on the dark side. But also, how well were you doing on light side GOTB? And as opposed to dark side, if your dark side is pretty much covered, and and you're achieving what you want to achieve in dark side GOTB, then look to work on the light side option.
Okay.
Because that will benefit your guild as well. Sorry, that's
okay. Finn, Sean Ragnar, the Red Killer, says he said, guess my question got skipped. I don't know if you put question in front of his statement. If you can go find out what the deal is with Sean Ragnar, the Red Killer's question. Next question, we're going to go back up to you, Warrior, from some guy. He says, am I better off going after General Kenobi's capital ship first or General Grievous's capital ship first? Warrior?
He just said he'll be right back.
Oh, okay. Well, then we'll go to you, Good Maurice, on that one then.
You said Warrior, so I completely ignored the question. What could you repeat it?
Yeah, it says pay attention to everything because you never know when you're going to be called. That's a question, you son of a... No, some guy says, am I better off going after General Kenobi's capital ship first or General Grievous's capital ship?
I think if you're starting fresh... Well, the thing about the Galactic Republic ships, you probably already have, and the characters you also already have. The Grievous ship comes with the Hyena Bomber and the Vulture Droid, which are currently either locked behind... They're still kind of semi-locked behind a paywall. But by the time you finish a 7-star Grievous from fresh, you're likely going to have those ships as well. I don't know. I don't have the Malevolence. I've never used the Malevolence. I don't have any Malevolences on my ship shard, so I can't give you like a comparison really. I use Negotiator. I love it. All the characters are needed for light side TB, but all the characters on the Malevolence side are required for the dark side. So I still think we're still missing a ship or two from that fleet, perhaps.
Well, yeah, because we've got the Geonosians in them, but then you have to get you got to get the bomber and you got to get Vulture Droid up. I mean, it's not like you can just you can use other ships, but I mean those are the ships ideally suited with the faction. So I agree with you 1,000% on that, Good Maurice.
Yeah, it'll be interesting. They've said that they're they'll revisit it, but it'll be interesting to see how these unpiloted ships scale with future like relics and further progression of the characters. So that's something to take into consideration. So we'll see how that plays out.
Okay. We have the troll question: is the new Rey going to be a Rey Skywalker? No, she's not in this game. She's not going to be a Rey Skywalker. It'll be Jedi Rey. Sorry to disappoint you with troll. Let's see. All right, next question to you, Mikey, from Sean Ragnar, the Red Kell. You got his question up. Says, what comes after the movie content? KOTOR, Clone Wars, or maybe some Mando content? I already said my thought, and that we were going back. They were going to go back to the original trilogy. I think we're going to start getting some Endor stuff. But what do you think, Mikey?
Think or hope. I would like to see some Mandalorian content. I mean, they've kind of dipped into it half-heartedly so far. Because we've got Boba, Jango, and Gar and Canderous as well, isn't it? Is it just the 4 at the moment?
Of the Knights of the Old Republic. Yeah, I don't think we're getting any more Knights of the Old Republic stuff for a while.
No, but I'm just wondering whether we might, I mean, we've got 4 Mandalorians there. It would be nice to have that. And also, like you mentioned earlier, dipping back into the Rebels and bringing in the Inquisitors. They're fantastic characters, I think. They would be great to add. But no, I think they're going to delve into lore and start going that route and bringing out characters I've never even heard of before. I'm movie and TV based rather than book based on Star Wars.
Sure.
So, yeah. But that's where I think that they'll go. And then obviously they've got the potential, if they want to bring in from the games as well. I'm also wondering whether they'll actually launch a game at the end of, now that we've had the final episode from the Star Wars movies, of whether they'll delve into another game based around the movies and the characters.
All right. Darth Nagari, question for you, Warrior. Are you going to put out a video on getting Kai Adimundi shards?
Probably not anytime super soon.
Yeah. I could...
Man. Sorry, just first time round, I killed the Reek and Django killed me and I lost.
I was pretty darn close, but I can say that it's consistency on that, and being able to instruct an individual on how to be consistent on that is going to be a difficult video to put out. Getting lucky and putting a video out on luck and doing an instructional video are 2 different things.
All right.
I'll be more than happy to put a video out of me getting my ass kicked.
Yeah.
I'm not sure how helpful that would be.
The Raffle Stomping Ranger for, yeah. We'll go around the corner. The next one from most stuff. Isley question: what is the one thing, new character, game mode, or quality of life update that you're hoping for in SWGOH, Star Wars Galaxy of Heroes in 2020? Anybody? Quality of life, game mode, new character, anybody?
Remove the mod cap.
Oh, yes, that's a good one. I like that. Remove the mod cap, please, God. Jesus, please.
Stability fixes. Like, don't
fix all the bugs.
Yeah, I don't fix broken stuff before you start adding new stuff. I don't know.
That's a thought. I actually said that on Operation Metaverse. Like, can we just have like 2-3 months where you guys just fix bugs, please, God? Just
is it just me, or is he Ranger fading out?
He's getting a little quieter, but I'm able to hear him consistently anyways.
I'm trying to think what would help me the most. Mod cap increase, yeah, but they've already said they're not going to do that. Unfortunately.
90% reduction on all costs. There you go. I live in the dream world.
I don't know, maybe some ship fleet loadouts.
I am all by myself, singing
all
aimlessly.
No, you're not.
All right,
here you again, man.
Do you want to build a snowman?
Yeah. Okay.
Huzzah!
Huzzah!
All right.
I don't feel alone anymore. There's people talking.
Well, we've all been talking, you psycho.
You all went silent. I couldn't hear.
Okay.
It was almost like someone stuck a stick in my ear.
It wasn't a stick. Way of the Troll. Question. This is for you, Mikey. He says, I'm torn on farming relic materials in Cantina versus Arc Trooper. My Arc Trooper is 5 stars, but I need relic materials. Help me, Mike Hunt. You're my only hope. Just farm your damn ARC trooper. Just farm the damn. Jeez.
Nah, I'm
Characters
on a
first.
massive. I'm on a massive relic farming at the moment. It's
Get in there,
Mark
farm them
3 shower
characters.
drains. Mark 3 shower drains. I've saved my just so that he can convert Mark 3 shower drains or craft them. So he crafts those because they're fantastic for the second to last piece or whatever for Relic 5 and 6. And Stormtrooper on the left-hand side, the middle piece converts into 13 of the second to last, the gold disc things. You get 13 of those. So, and that's all regular energy because it's on 2 of the 10 XP nodes for the purple balls and the gold bit that you need there. But that's where I am. Farming those.
Always do
like
characters
crazy.
first. I mean,
I've
once
done-
you get your arena team done,
See,
Relic-
I've got my characters done.
Well, yeah, but you're
They're
in a
all
different
done.
position. But if you have characters like ARC Trooper and things like that need to be done, get the characters
Arc Trooper,
done
get him
first.
to 5-star. At least get him to 5-star.
I mean, you're going to need him. I mean, just those kind of
You
characters.
will need him, definitely.
Just get them once you're done with them, then you can go back in and go crazy with the pieces. But if you get your arena team done and some of your main characters, get the characters farmed. That's the most important thing, right? Because if they're not 7 stars, you're pretty much locked out of a lot of stuff if you ever need them. So I mean, you just never know with this game. So yeah.
Arc
Alright.
Trooper unlocks snips as well, doesn't it? And gives you a 5-0 first of clones for gas.
It's amazing.
Yeah.
He's a great character
Yeah.
too. All right, last question to Good Old Murray's Bad Horse. He once says, Gear 2 Geos to complete special mission in TB, or Gear 6-star General Skywalker. He's 50 out of 100 shards. Who would you gear first? The 2 Geos or do a General Skywalker? That's at 6 stars.
That's a tough. That's a tough question. I guess it depends on your arena shard, what guild you're in. I would probably. I guess it depends. If your guild's really encouraging you guys to get it done, then you got to be a good teammate. You gotta bite the bullet and get the team event done. 6-star gas. If your shard has 7-star gases in your arena, he's not gonna do you much good. Maybe what you could do is gear up your Geos while saving your Kyrotechs for your Skywalker, perhaps. Like just kind of slowly get the Kyrotechs, whether it be farming or through the Grand Arena store. If you buy stuff, just get everything ready. Take note of Skywalker. Get your Geos up for the special mission. Because I think you need Brood Alpha at 13, maybe Spy. You don't need too much of further investment. I think that's what I have. I have Alpha at Relic 3 and Spy at 13. That's plenty for me. So once you get to the point where you can beat the mission consistently, maybe bail on them and then start your Skywalker.
Yeah.
That's tough to answer without knowing what guild you're in or what your arena's like.
But that's a good idea about it right there. All right, so with that, we've reached the end of the Jedi Academy. We're going to let these guys pimp their stuff, and then I'm going to flip over immediately. Give me a few minutes, and then I'm going to go into my GAC. Any of the wonderful panelists was more welcome to stay and hang out as we do GAC 3v3. So we'll have a lot of fun with that. But with that being said, Warrior, where can folks check you out at, my friend?
Well, as always, at Warrior Present on Twitter, on the Facebook page, or at Warrior Presents on YouTube.
So there you go. Any new videos or anything this week coming up, or anything you want to pimp?
Weekly live stream for now.
Yes, and you always get Warrior Story Time, which are always the best. Good old Maurice, what are you guys doing over there in Operation Metaverse?
Much like many of you guys, we took a little break over the holidays. We're back. We have moved our streams to Thursday nights at 10 o'clock now instead of Tuesdays at 10 o'clock Eastern. It's working a little better for both of us scheduling wise. So we'll be streaming on Thursday nights now instead of Tuesdays. We've got some videos coming out. We're back in full swing now that the holidays are over and it's back to real life. So we're back to YouTube. So check
There
us
you
out
go.
there. Also, Sunday nights on Ramon Azab's channel, we do the Alliance live show. Been doing that for a long time. Ranger joins us
I'm losing
pretty
my
regular
mind.
now. So it is actually getting 11 p.m. I can comfortably say it's at 11 to 11:30 p.m. now on Sunday evenings. So
Yeah.
check us out there.
There you go. And then Mikey, you said you got a new video out. Where can folks check you out at?
Yeah, I've still got my YouTube channel, Mike Hunt SWGOH. Always at the end bit, otherwise you get very different content. The video that I've just put out, Phase 2, First Order, Hux, and Mr. Red, also known as Sith Trooper apparently, and Death Panda. And that was fun. Also, I'll be putting together a full Phase 2 GOTB run because somehow my Gear 12 Executrix managed to get a win with Sith and First Order actually, which was amazing. I donated Houndstooth, so Chimera was an absolute fail. There's a wish for you. A ship that will replace Houndstooth and actually be able to enable us to donate Houndstooth and still be able to win a dark side ship battle without it. Yeah, that's my wish for the year, I think. And yeah, I'm trying to get some content up.
Okay. And then if you're watching this on Reality Skewed Gamers. We stream all the time. We have lots of content you can check out. But do me a favor, not just us, like and subscribe. That's always important. But do me a favor, check out these other great content creators. Check out their channels. They're all linked below in the description. You know, they take the time out of their busy schedule to join us here to answer your questions. So the least you can do is go check out their content. If you like it, then follow them and subscribe and view their content. There's a lot of great information on there and just fun stuff you can go watch and have fun with, and help support their channel. You know, if they're here to help support you and answer your questions, to help you in the game, the least you could do is go watch some of their videos and help them with their algorithm and their growth on YouTube. So if you could do that, I'd very much appreciate it. So what we are going to do is we are going to flip over. I'm going to go right into GAC. So give me a few minutes. You'll see the event pop up. Especially if you're subscribed, it should pop up, but just be ready, and just be looking for it. We're going to get that going here as quickly as possible, and we'll go have some fun with 3v3. We've been having a lot of fun with 3v3, so we'll do that, show our counters, talk about the counters, all that kind of stuff. As I said, everybody from the Academy is more welcome to join as we go into our epic fights of 3v3. Have a fun match with a RSG fan and viewer, so that'll be fun. We'll talk about that on the flip side. So with that, we're going to call this one done. So another Jedi Academy in the books. So on behalf of myself and the panel, thank you so much for joining us today. Have a great rest of the day. We'll catch you on the flip side if you're going to join us for 3v3. If not, have a great rest of your day and weekend, and we will see you when we see you. Peace out.